Hello and welcome to Sounding Board, a community access television production of Soroptimist International of Novato. My name is Madeline Peters and I'm serving as the moderator for this conversation with Linda Witong, my esteemed colleague and guest, who's really spent a lot of serious time doing research on the whole issue of water. And so today's sort of general topic is there's the elephant in the room. We've talked about the water crisis, what it means both locally and globally. And the problem now is finance. Okay, this problem is not going away. What is that we're going to do about it? Linda, thank you very much for
being here.
Enlightening conversations. But again, let's kind of take it again. This is your program.
Yeah, it's called Show Me the Money.
Show us the money.
Show me the money.
Okay.
Japan, Netherlands are doing a good job, as some of the other countries, in giving money, but it's not going to be enough. UN representatives have said strengthening water infrastructures and systems costs money, and we will need a lot more of it from different sources.
Well, I think that's the important thing for us to understand too, is it does all come down to economics. People aren't just going to realize that, oh, we have a water crisis. Oh, we need to, and by the goodness of our hearts, we're going to apply whatever resources we have. That resources have to come from somewhere, and so it's the economic factor that you're articulating at this point.
I am, and let's talk some numbers here.
Okay.
Okay, it's when we're talking numbers, I'm always going, okay, we're going to be really religious around here. World Bank, Asian Development Bank, and the World Economic Forum and other entities have said that water security poses a grave threat. Okay,
well, and
we
I think that's an important term, the whole concept of water security.
Yes.
Okay, that's a threat.
It's posing a severe threat to global economy and to security. Global security, and it's estimated that more than 20 trillion, that's a T, not a B, will be invested in water infrastructure by 2050. And the financing challenge has been described, I think, accurately as being massive, okay?
Well, you're talking about a huge water crisis that's going to affect the health and welfare of the entire planet.
Yes.
So we need to understand the seriousness of the problem. We also need to understand what the commitment needs to be in order to address this crisis.
Yes, and another estimate, the advanced briefing of the SDG 6 synthesis report said...
And by SDG you mean Sustainable Development
Goals. Yes, I'm talking code again, sorry
about that. I know, that's
that.
okay. That's why I'm here.
Yeah. 1.7 trillion is going to be the cost to give clean water and sanitation to the world. And there's really no estimates about how much it's going to cost to achieve all of the goals of SDG 6. But they say it's going to probably be, given there's already a threefold increase on the money that's being spent, it's probably going to be well above historic allocations. Others have said, but look, if we don't do something, it's going to cost us even more on a yearly basis to our economy, and over time, much more than these type of investments that we're talking about are sort of projected to be. And the problem right now is aid is decreasing because many of the countries are more focused on their particular economic situation. Correct valuing is important. Water in many places is not valued appropriately. People may be using it without even thinking about conserving.
Well, when you say that too, are you talking about developed countries where people are washing their cars or filling their swimming pools or watering their lawns, or in terms of the value of water is that the problem is that it's not valued?
Well, in some, I would say, naming no names, but I would say that there's been some communities, where it just seems like they really don't care how the water is being used. They don't even try to do any type of conservation attempt or try to conserve water. And that's a very important issue. You've got to value water.
Well, so that's the mindset of people. Again, as you said, this is an issue, it's a concern. People have to understand that water is a decreasing resource. And there has to be a value. It cannot be it cannot be considered inconsequential.
No, decreasing resource and increasing demand. Never a very good combination in
Right.
this type of situation. Water infrastructure. They go, well, we just can build some better infrastructure. We can get the private companies to come in and do it. The problem with that is it's very expensive to build. Most private companies are not going to see a return on their investment. Problem there is if they're seeing a return on their investment for shareholders, very often you're having what's called privatization. And so like in one area you have a water meter and they're charging for use with the water meter. Well, when some poor person can't afford to use the water meter anymore, they just use the untreated water, and then they get an outbreak of a horrible disease.
So it's changing their access to the source of water
Yes.
from a relatively pure site to a contaminated site.
And some actually private companies will ask a government to sign an investment treaty saying that, you know, we can steadily raise the prices. Other countries or treaties or agreements have had it fixed on the US dollar, which can be very high. And so some country may not be able to afford the water payments or afford the water infrastructure under those type of situations. So they have no choice but to try and raise the money, and guess who gets the brunt of it? Oh wait, the poor, the impoverished women and girls and children.
So the people who are the most marginalized those are the people who are have the least access to resources, the least political voice,
They can,
and the
yeah.
fewer options.
And what you have to make sure, and the governments have to make sure, is that they're making water, they don't penalize people who have low income, they don't penalize people who have large families, or that have ill members with high tariffs of water. They can't be doing that.
But it's like you're talking about...
That's a human right. They can't be doing that.
But you're talking about politicizing access to water and then changing the mindset globally. I mean, it's fine to have it as a policy issue, perhaps at the UN level or at other international communities, but that it's, again, it comes down to the politics of the haves and the have-nots as far as who has.
Except that this is a human right, and water has the distinct, maybe dubious honor at this point of being a qualifier to live. You can't live without water, folks. So maybe, you know, you go and maybe do away with extra wood or, you know, extra carpentry, but you don't do without water.
And it's the life-death issue.
It is. And I mean, how can, and it's not only for humans, it's for plants, it's for critters, animals, it's for our whole ecosystem, folks. It's for the fish that you eat, the meat, the plants that you eat. Yeah, it's for everyone, and it's a life event. It's a life-changing event.
So you're bringing up here, if I can look at the conversations we've had too, a massive issue that touches all of us on a profound level. It's only going to get worse.
Yeah.
And we're talking now about the financial demands to really address this problem.
And here are some, and the countries are doing their best with what they have, and they're doing their best to try and get solutions, I believe, because I think more and more they're realizing this really is a problem we need to deal with.
So there's a wake-up call now that you're seeing.
I think the alarm went off a long time ago.
Okay.
I think that, you know, countries are struggling to meet this incredible challenge. Some of the ways that they're, you know, to give hope that they're doing it well.
I would like some hopeful comments.
Well, for example, they're fighting tax evasion. All right.
Okay.
They're fighting anti-corruption. They have policies on that. They're also, you know, in terms of doing the polluter pays. So if you pollute the water, you're going to pay. You're going to pay for the pollution you caused. You're going to pay for changing your infrastructure, cleaning it up, and making it work. Or guess what? One of the things we can do is not give you a favorable economic tax, favorable credit. We can go, boop,
So
take
it's
it away.
really looking at the business of managing
Yes.
companies' access to water.
Yes.
Which it really sounds like it's a topic in and of itself.
It is actually. It's a really lengthy topic. I'm just giving you a preview of coming attractions.
And just, you know, I mean, I want to make sure we have just a short period of time left for this
Okay.
conversation, but if you could just kind of bullet point some of the other issues that you want before we close our program.
Real quickly, it would be that the goal is to make businesses be socially responsible in how they treat water, treat it as a valuable commodity. When you use it, treat it as a valuable commodity. When you're finished using it, make sure it goes back into the world or back into the water system as clean as possible. And if you don't do it, you're going to pay.
The operative word. If we
And it's
don't
gonna
pay
be,
attention
where's
to this,
the money?
yeah,
You're
again,
gonna
the
pay.
elephant in the room is financing this.
Yes.
Linda, thank you very much for taking the time. I really appreciate
You're welcome.
having you here, having these conversations and the variety of your research.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity.
Well,
to-
and hopefully there'll be more
Oh.
opportunities.
Hopefully, yes.
This is Sounding Board, a community access television production of Soroptimist International of Novato. My guest today is Linda Witong, and looking at the elephant in the room, financing, this need for financing around access to water, providing water for the community. Thank you very much.